Hey guys, welcome to the Uncreative Crafter. My name is Jen. I'm your host. Today is Saturday, April 25th. This is mostly a fibery, crafty podcast, so knitting, spinning, crochet, weaving with some extra stuff thrown in. This is my second time recording because the first time I guess I didn't realize I was in time lapse, not video. And thankfully I realized pretty quickly that I didn't like the angle of the video, and I was like, oh, I'll just stop it and restart. And I pressed play just to see, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm just speeding through this. So thankfully I didn't get like all the way through the podcast. It would have been a really quick episode this week. So, take two. This is episode 8, by the way, and this is just absolutely staggering to me, by the way. When I started this, I was so sure that I would maybe do just a couple and nobody would be watching, and I would just sort of let it die a natural death. But there are people watching and there are people commenting, and so why not keep going? Right? Somebody out there is checking me out, and you guys are all awesome. I have a lot of new YouTube subscribers, and I have some new people in the group as well who have started to pipe up and say hi, and you guys are just awesome. I love checking my email and seeing that I have a new subscriber or there's a new comment on the Ravelry page, so thank you. I'd like to tell you that I put some effort into my appearance this week. I did not, and we'll get into my slightly sunburnt face towards the end of the podcast. I did throw on like my nerdy exploding TARDIS Doctor Who shirt because I felt like being comfy and I kind of felt like being nerdy. Last week I was actually wearing, or 2 weeks ago, I was wearing my Trust Me I'm a Doctor shirt, and it has Dr. Hooves from My Little Pony on it, and I thought afterwards, like, why didn't I just show you guys that shirt? But I'll wear it again. No worries. I'm trying not to wear the same shirt every week. I have more than 3 shirts, I promise. So, now that I have been a total blabbermouth, let's start talking about the stuff you came here to listen to me talk about, and that's going to be crafty stuff. So, first up is finished objects. I have 3. I'm going to only count them as 1, though. So last week I was working on the grandmother's favorite dishcloths, just for something easy to do at work, and so I finished 3 of those. The first one I did, I was knitting with the yarn in my left hand, and I found that I didn't love the tension in it. I was actually a looser knitter than I already am, and I'm a pretty loose knitter. So I switched back over to knitting with my default, which is the yarn in my right hand, and I finished 2 more. I'm only going to show 2 of them to you because I was lazy and I have not snipped the yarn, so it's the third one is still attached to the cone of cotton, and I was lazy and I didn't want to bring it over. So let's see. And I haven't woven in the ends or anything, but I think there's a pretty clear difference. This is the one where the yarn was in my left hand, and it's pretty loosey-goosey. I mean, you can see right through parts of it, and this is the one where the yarn was held in my right hand like normal, and the tension is really so much more even, I think. So just to sort of overlay these for you, and you'll even see like this one is bigger slightly because it was so much looser. So as much as I think it's a great technique to have, I'm just not good at tensioning my yarn. Apparently I'm a very loose tensioner, and I would really like to learn how to maybe tension better, so I wouldn't always have to go 2 or 3 needle sizes down on a project. It would be nice to be one of those people who gets gauge with the needle suggested. Wouldn't that be awesome? So that's the only thing that I have finished. I am still working on my Multnomah, which I showed you guys last week. It's sort of slow going just because not that it's difficult, but it's not something I can really take and do on a break at work, and by the time I get home, I'm tired. I worked on it a little bit at the laundromat last week, and I get a row or 2 in here and there at night, but nothing major for progress, but I'll show it to you. Anyway, I am now, I think I was just barely in the patterned portion, and I have put up all of these little stitch markers to help me keep track. There are some great people who have made posts on Ravelry to help you sort of keep track of what you're doing, and you can just sort of start to see the feather and fan pattern. is emerging, and I think it's going to be nice. I've read comments that it can come out a little bit small though, so we'll see. It'll be nice to have that done, definitely. That is some old yarn. And then the only other thing I'm working on is I did start a new washcloth for at home. I did bust into my big cotton cone of the white cotton that I'd gotten, and I am back doing the Great Washcloth Challenge, which I started last year. I have a perpetual knitting calendar with a stitch pattern on each day, and I decided that I was going to make a year's worth of washcloths to try out different stitch patterns because they're in there. A washcloth is a pretty quick project, and you really get a feel for how you like the stitch pattern and what you might do with it. And so I started January 6th, which is called Simple Lace Rib. And pull it over here, kind of scrunched it on the needle, so when I took it home it wouldn't totally, oh, that's the wrong side, hang on. So, and I know with it being white, it's a little bit difficult to see, but you've got these columns of twisted stitches, and then you've got these like light, airy columns that have like these twists in them, so it kind of sinews up and down, which is neat. I'm enjoying it. I don't super love the stitch pattern. It's really floppy, so it's not going to make a great washcloth, but the stitch pattern is neat. I'm not really sure what I would see myself using this in, maybe like a scarf, but it's only a 4-pattern repeat, and 3 of those 4 rows are pretty simple, so they're pretty mindless. Yeah, so that's all I'm working on. Next up is the long crawl. It will not surprise anyone that my spinning is still on hiatus and my weaving is still on hiatus. I missed the deadline to get my woven sample to my friend Christy of Fiber Stash for her to go to the Connecticut Sheep and Wool Festival. That's actually this weekend. She's there now, hopefully making a killing on yarn and fiber sales. Good luck, Christy. And so I just have been lazy with it. That's just sort of how I've been rolling. I know I will get back to it and I will finish it at some point. I just don't know when. And then the other thing that I have on hiatus at the moment is my toe-up socks. I know I told you last time that I was going to try and figure out how to do the heel, and I've just been lazy. And I think, okay, I was sort of figuring out if I wanted to do this on the show or not. I think I'm going to do it. So I did put in a lifeline before I started doing some increasing. It's kind of, I don't know, you increase, I think, for like the gusset area, and then you're supposed to do the heel. So I did put some waste yarn in, just in case. And I you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to take it off of the needles. I hate doing this, but this will at least get me to rip back to where I know the stitch count and I liked what I was doing, and fix it and get it figured out. So, ripping things out. And every single knitter out there is probably cringing. So, you know, it's off the needles. Got loose stitches. I'll rip that out later. I'm not putting it back on. So, I will, you know, rip back to a simpler part, and I think I'm going to try a short row heel. It just seems easier. So, hopefully that will be an in-progress piece next week. Alright, next up is stash. I was not going to buy anything, and I went to Big Lots. I wanted to see if they had any more mugs because of glitter mugging, and they had a couple, not the size that I had originally gotten, so I ended up getting some other mugs, and then I'm there, and their yarn was half off, and their yarn is only $1 to start with, so it was 50 cents. And I mean 50 cents. I don't care what kind of yarn it is, you can find use for it when it's 50 cents. So, I bought 6. And this is an interesting yarn. I'd never seen it before except at Big Lots, and I did a little bit of research on it. I believe it's a Turkish yarn, and it's called Canaan Gloria, and it's a sport weight acrylic. And I bought 6 balls in black. 50 cents. Oh my gosh. So, and I made sure to get all the same dye lot, don't worry. And I figure even if it's, it's not perfect, it's a bit messy and whatnot, but it is 100% acrylic. It's about 165 meters, so I will have to do the math. But I think I did the math the other night when I bought them. And I want to say almost 1,000 yards. I want to say it was like 990. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to crochet a shawl. Nobody freak out. I know that I keep saying that there's crochet or that I'm going to talk about crochet, and I haven't. And that's partially because it's a yarn eater, and I don't really have a ton of the yarn that I have. I tend to have 1 or 2 skeins of something. But I thought, I can definitely, originally I was thinking weaving with this. I didn't even know the weight of it when I bought it. I found it out later. But I'm thinking crochet shawl, quick, yarn eater, and something that I haven't done recently, which will be nice. I went to Awake a couple of months ago in the winter, and I thought to myself, I have a lot of knitted shawls and scarves and stuff, but I don't really have anything in like a nice simple black, which is something you can really wear anywhere. I have like rainbow and sparkly, and while that's probably fine to wear some places, there are some places you just need a simple black shawl. And I have a couple of patterns in mind, but I won't spoil them. I will figure that out, and hopefully in the next couple of shows I'll have a crochet shawl on the hook to show you. So that's it for stash, and next up we're going to do You Go Guys. And I really do think this is going to be a short episode this time, so here's hoping. Fuzz in my nose. Sorry. That is the downside to podcasting about crafty stuff, is you tend to get fiber in your nose. Alright. First of all, I would like to say thank you. My first podcast episode hit 100 views. And I've been doing this since January, so that's, about 4 months. Which, granted, I'm not one of those podcasters who has 1 million subscribers, and so for me to even hit 10 views is awesome, and so to hit 100 is really awesome. Now I know like probably 30 of those were me trying to figure out how YouTube worked in the beginning, but I think I'm now up to like 110, so now only, the math, we're gonna get there. They're not all gonna be me, which is awesome, and you guys are so awesome for going back and watching old podcasts. If you're a new viewer, thank you for checking those out as well. It's pretty awesome. Also, I would like to mention I got a couple of podcast shout-outs, which I hate to keep using the word awesome. I feel like I should have another word other than awesome. It was stupendous. How's that? It was stupendous that I got a couple of podcast podcast shout-outs. There we go. I did have coffee this morning, I promise. And the first one was Kendra of Such Nice Work. So, Kendra, thank you so much for mentioning me in your latest episode. Kendra actually decided to start reading War and Peace because of me, and she sounds like she's enjoying it a lot more than I am. So, you go, girl. I am still reading it. I promise there will be a War and Peace update at the end. But she is awesome. She does some really cute crocheted dolls that really make me want to get back into crochet again. And they're just so cute, and she's just a really nice person to listen to. And she always gets so much done, and she's got kids, and I don't know how she manages to do that. The other shout out I got was Mina of the Knitting Expat podcast, and Mina has just really taken off in the podcast world, which is totally deserved because she's interesting, she's prolific, and she's good at what she does, and her cats are so cute. And I wanted to grab my cat Dorian and bring him over here and show him off, but he's sleeping right now, and I didn't want to wake him up, and then I thought he'd probably knock stuff over. So at some point I'll have to pre-record a video of Dorian so you can see him because he's huge. But this isn't about me and Dorian. This is about Mina mentioning me in her podcast. And that's awesome. And it's just really sweet of her to do. I mean, I don't shout out people so they'll shout me out, but it's always really nice when somebody mentions you and you know that they've seen that you appreciate what they've done and they give you a little love as well. So thank you guys. That was really sweet of both of you, Kendra and Mina. And check them out. I will include links to their shows in my show notes, which you will be able to find on my website, which is stormcoastcreations.com. And that's a thing that I've been really bad at doing, is telling you where to find me. I know I include that on the end of the YouTube video, but maybe you don't stick around that long. I hope you do, but I'm not offended if you don't. Definitely, I can talk on and on and on. So, thank you guys for your shout outs. And then I'd also like to give a special shout out today to my friend Angie, who said that I could use her name. She is the friend that I've been talking about locally, who I taught how to spin and who's been coming to spinning group with me. And Angie just learned how to knit. She is a fabulous crocheter, fearless, makes up her own patterns. She doesn't think that something's impossible. She just figures out a way to do it, which is really great. And Angie just took up knitting, and she's already better at it than I am. So I'm really excited to see her in person and see how she's been doing. And Angie actually inspired me. I am going to be hosting, and I still need to figure out the details of this. I'm going to be hosting a craft along. I have decided to bite the bullet and do it because I think it'll be fun. It's going to be a new to you along, and I still have to iron out some of the details. But basically, my concept is you're going to go and, if there's something that has been putting like a mental block on you, or if there's a technique that you want to try or a totally different craft that you want to try, this is going to be the time to do it. And I'm going to have at least one prize. Christy of Fiber Stash, who I mentioned earlier, is generously donating a prize. She had sort of mentioned a couple of months ago, hey, do you want to do a giveaway? And I said, well, I don't think anybody's watching. And now that people seem to be watching, we're gonna have a craft along. It's probably going to be pretty loosey-goosey. It's not going to have to be fiber related, like I took up decoupaging. If you've never decoupaged and that's a thing you want to try now, that's awesome. Or if there's a technique you've never done or you haven't done in a long time and you need to reintroduce yourself to, yeah, you can definitely do that. You don't have to finish anything during the craft along. You just have to, make a really good effort at it. So again, I'm going to iron out the details. I'm thinking mid-May, like around May 17th for a month. And yeah, look for more details. I'll post, I'll have a thread in the Ravelry group if you're a Ravelry member, and then I'll have a post on stormcoastcreations.com if you are just a YouTube watcher and you want to participate that way, so you don't have to belong to Ravelry to do this craft along. So look for more details on that as I hammer them out and as I pick the prize. And I totally forgot to grab my glitter mug for extra credit. So there's going to be some creative video editing. It's like I use my mouth and my words all week at work, and by the time Saturday rolls around, I just don't speak English anymore. So I did glitter mug with my friend. My glitter mug turned out better than I expected, patched it up in a few places, and then I discovered that I had gotten decoupage up by the lip of the mug, and there was glitter there. And since it's not recommended that you have glitter by your mouth, for totally valid reasons, I'm kind of bummed. I'm going to be making that into like a decorative mug only. I tried to paint some stripes up the side, and I'm going to probably try to even them out as well, because they were a little bit freeform. Should have probably taped them down, but whatever, it's a process. My friend actually threw hers out. She's just going to start again. And I don't blame her. But for her first try, it turned out actually way better than I thought it would. So I will probably pop a little video or picture in here of what that looks like, because I forgot to grab it. And the other thing that I did is I caught up on a lot of podcasts last week, and that was actually a perfect time to cut out little yarn balls for my decoupage. Decoupaging my yarn ball. Watched, a bunch of podcasts, the same ones I've been mentioning for the most part, so I won't mention them again. So I have made some progress in that. I'm actually up to the lip of the bowl, which seemed like a good stopping point. And in the beginning, it's kind of funny to watch myself change how I do things. In the beginning, they were all the same size, they were all the same yarn, and then I slowly cared less and less about it, so we've just got like a mishmash. We've got some tweeds, we've got some cottons, I don't know. So I think it's turning out pretty well, and so I still have the whole inside of the bowl to do. But I'm getting there. I have a ton of little yarn balls cut out, which makes it so much faster when you have the stuff ready ahead of time. Duh. Everybody knows that. So, and then last up, we're going to do some On the Edge. Wow, this is going to be a nice quick episode. I love it. All right, War and Peace. 55%, baby. Went to the gym a couple of times and I pushed myself over the halfway mark. It is downhill from here, which I'm going to finish this. I'm still not loving it. There was some interesting, intriguing relationship drama in there, which was kind of neat, and I'm interested to see in how that plays out. Spoiler alert, they are still at war. I don't remember if it's the same war or if it's now a different war. I'm still a little confused on that. I should probably be reading this with Cliff Notes, but I feel like I don't want to spoil myself on it. But I feel like it would be a different read if I kind of understood more of what was going on historically and in that context. So I'll probably read the Cliff Notes version after I'm done. But I am over the halfway point, so that is pretty exciting. And it means that I went to the gym a couple of times. Also, I walked a 5K this morning. That's why my face is a little bit sunburnt. And that's why I honestly didn't really bother. I just took another shower and was like, whatever. They know what I look like by now. They know that I don't really bother to do myself up too much. So, one of the ladies that I work with, was wondering if we do a company-wide thing to sort of help out this local organization, and we really kicked some butt. We were the top fundraisers for the 5K, which was awesome. I think we were one of the bigger teams, too. I did not run it. I walked it. There were a ton of people there, and so it was kind of nice. I had a walking buddy. One of the girls from my department walked with me, and that was really awesome, and got sweaty and got a little sun on my face, and, I accomplished something, so now I am eating jelly beans and being lazy to make up for it. And I almost hit my 10,000 steps, actually. I was at 9,000 by the end of the walk, so I did hit my step goal for the day, which is only 4,700, because I work in an office and I set low attainable goals, but I should definitely hit 10,000 by the end of the day, and my legs are feeling it. So that was really good. Beautiful weather. It really turned out to be nice and sunny, if a little bit chilly. And so I did that this morning. And then last up, we've got some Birchbox goodies. So I did get my April Birchbox, and I have everything but one. I left the 3 wishes. I hate saying it like that, but it's wish, W-H-I-S-H. And I pronounce that and W-I-S-H the same, wish and wish. But it's wishes, 3 wishes, body butter in the almond scent. That's my new work lotion. I finally finished the lotion that I got in my January Birchbox, and so that's my new little work lotion. Don't super love the almond scent, but it's growing on me. It does come in more scents for the bigger sizes. It's a nice light lotion that I've only tried a couple of times now because I just replaced it at work maybe Thursday or Friday. But that's at work. Sorry about that. Another thing that I got, and I had to pull these out of my shower, is I got the Harvey Prince Hello Exfoliating Shower Gel. I have been enjoying the Harvey Prince products that they've sent me. I think this is the second one now. Just a little, it's called liquid loofah on the side. So I have actually not been using it with a loofah. I don't love it. It's not a bad shower gel by any means, and I'll use up the sample, but it's got, and I almost hesitate to even say this, but it's got like a manly scent to it. Not that you can't wear manly scents and guys can't wear girly scents, and scents are really just scents. But it reminds me of something that either like my dad or my older brother wore as a cologne. So maybe like English Leather or Old Spice or something. And I don't know what that is, but I don't love the scent, and honestly I like using a loofah, so probably will not be purchasing this for myself, but definitely interesting to try, that's for sure. And then I also got, let's see, I got the CC cream, and this is Super Goop in the light to medium self-adjusting shade. So just this tiny little sample. See if you can see the color on this. I have tried just a little bit on just to see, so I haven't actually like taken it out and tested it. It does have a sunscreen in it, 35, which is nice. I don't tend to wear stuff with sunscreen, and I really should. Hence, when you get, what's that word? When your face is burnt. Oh my god. I have words all the rest of the week, and I know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Alright, so I do look forward to trying this. I've never tried a BB cream or a CC cream, so yeah, definitely interested to see how this works out. Sunburn. That's what happens when you burn your face with the sun. I'm going back to bed. That's it. And then I also got Vasanti Brighten Up Enzymatic Face Rejuvenator, and it's got papaya, microcrystals, and aloe. And really enjoying this face scrub. I'm almost out of the sample. I brought home one of those little toothpaste tube squeezers to try and get more out of it. But I really like this, and we'll talk more about this one in a minute. And then I also got, yeah, this is the last thing I got. I got the Pop Beauty Eyeshadow Trio in these really great neutral colors. Take it out so you can kind of see. And it's like they know that I love neutrals. They did give you a choice of your sample for the makeup, and there was, I think, a blush, something for your lips and your eyes, and I let them choose. I'm really glad I got the eye ones. I've worn this one and this one. This one in the middle is a little light for my eyes, so I might use that maybe on top of my lids. I like this dark brown one, and I have not tried the light one. There is like a big palette of a bunch of different colors, and I actually am interested in it. I usually don't wear eyeshadow because I find that it rubs off really easily and it gets creased and it just wears off. This was really pigmented, and it seemed to show and stay really, really well. So, pop. I am definitely maybe interested in getting the big one. So, and then, exciting news, I made my first Birchbox purchase. I saved up some money, and I decided to buy some stuff. So, spoiler alert, I didn't grab the big one out of the box, but I bought the Vasanti. As soon as I realized I was running out of the sample, I'm like, you know what, I need to buy more of this, because just the way my face feels and looks, I feel like it looks brighter and cleaner, and it's just a really nice exfoliator. It's just really small little scrubbies, and it seems to work really well for my face, so I did buy the big one of those. And then I also bought the Yes to Cucumber face wipes, which you saw a couple of podcasts ago. They're a good price for $30. Actually, I take them to the gym. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. I take them to the gym, and so I don't have to shower after I get home from work, because I'm a morning showerer. I just use this, and it seems to work pretty well. So definitely worthwhile purchase for like, I think $6, which is pretty awesome. And then I'm a little bit bummed about this one, and I'm not gonna lie, Birchbox, I'm a little peeved at this one. I decided to order one of the Cynthia Rowley lip stains. I'd gotten a sample one in a color that I didn't love, and I ordered their, I think it's called Sugar, which is like a nude pink, because I like nudes and I look good in nudes. And they took my money, and they shipped it. And then 2 days later, they said, oops, this is actually out of stock, and here's your money back. Guys, I feel like, you know, why let me order it if it was back ordered? And then why ship it if it was back ordered and then tell me? So I'm a little bit pissed about that. And I went back on the website to see, like, if it had now shown as back ordered on the website, and it looks like you can actually still add it to your cart. So, I'm kind of annoyed about that, and I don't know how to tell when it's back in stock, because I really want to buy it, and it's like the only place you can buy it because it's exclusive. So, kind of annoyed about that. I will say, though, they let you, they were running a promotion where if you got a Cynthia Rowley product, you could get a little mini lip stain for free. They did let me have my little mini lip stain, so I did get one, just not the one I wanted, the big one in the color I wanted. But I got the little one, which is called Poppy. It looks super red. It's actually a lot nicer on, and I like it better than the last sample lip stain I got. I guess I tend to go neutral or bold, and not that this is super bold, but I like it for my skin tone and my coloring. So I got that, and then I also got this little Lord and Berry spackle, Jesus, sparkle black mini liner, which I have not tried. It's just got this cute little sparkly, probably difficult to see, but yeah, so I'll definitely give that a try. You could order, if you'd spent a certain amount of money, you could order a little mystery sample box, and it gave you 2 samples, so this is one of them. And then the other one that I'm actually pretty excited to try is the Borghese Fango Brillante, whatever. And this is a brightening mud mask for face and body. It is this frightening shade of pink, and I have not opened it up or played with it, but maybe it will be soothing on my sunburnt face later. I don't know. So, a pretty good experience, except for the back-ordered item, which I'm still bummed about. And I'm going to be writing them a little note to their customer service to let them know, because, that's definitely something that's annoying that could get worked on, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that happened to. Anyway, as much as I had said this was going to be a short episode, it is now 32 minutes, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys again so much for sticking with me. If you stuck around all the way to the end, you are especially super awesome. I appreciate it. And remember, it gets done one stitch at a time. Have a great week, everybody. See you in 2.